Estamos por llegar a la tierra del Chicharito, a la tierra del Manchester United, a la tierra de Manchester City, a la tierra de la maestría de Luis, porque deben de saber ustedes que soy doble M, mexicano y mancuniano. We had reservations at City Park Hotel. When we got there, the immediate impression was not very favorable. We were not very happy. The lobby stank at cigarette smoke. Our room was minute. We didn't have a double bed. We had bunk bed.
The next morning, I found a fellow guest sitting on the stairs, tying his boots, apologizing profusely because he said he didn't have enough space in his room to put his boots on.
The bathroom was shared and outside the room, and it didn't have any hot water. When we asked for the room that we had reserved, they told us that since we arrived late, it was given to some other couple. Not only they didn't have our room, they also didn't have internet. The lady in attendance, every time we complained, she would say to us, "I know, but look, the room is not the one that we asked for." "I know. And you said that you had 24 hours internet." "I know." There was very little that we could do except bite the bullet, make the best out of it, and leave to fight another day. Marilu was crazy about having biltong. She heard about a place in Manchester called Bob Biltong Place, so she pestered me so much that we went there in the morning. Quite a nice place and very nice people. We even had breakfast there. This is the shop of nostalgia for South Africans in the UK. It has just about everything you can imagine.
Look what I have. We are in Manchester. We're at the South African shop having breakfast. And we bought half a kilo of biltong. South African pure jerky. Good stuff.
Can you guys imagine? We come all the way from Mexico to Manchester to visit my old university, my old hunting grounds, and we ended up in a South African shop buying biltong for Marilu. After our breakfast and spending a couple of $100, we went to my university, Victoria University of Manchester. Of course, my first stop was the building the house, the Department of Economics, where I spent one of my most interesting years of my student life. Aquí tenemos mi departamento de economía. Este edificio ya no funciona como el departamento de economía. Hace 2 años se cambiaron a un nuevo edificio. Bueno, aquí estamos en el edificio donde me pasé un año estudiando mi maestría en economía en la Universidad de Manchester. Aquí estaban los salones. Esto es el sótano del edificio. Ahora los salones de clases están bastante más agradables. Este básicamente está igual. Y ahí nos sentábamos y escuchábamos al profesor pontificar. Y aquí tenemos a mi guía, la internacionalmente famosa y aclamada Marilu Gutierrez de Bustaisen de United. Aquí tenemos otro salón de clases. No recuerdo qué materias llevé acá, pero tengan la seguridad de que los asientos eran totalmente diferentes y mucho más incómodos. Cuando vine por primera vez en 1970, esto me parecía inmenso. Ahora me parece muy pequeño. Creo que el número de estudiantes en la maestría era de 300. Éramos pocos. Look at these beautiful tiles. They must be the original ones since early 20th century. Devon's Quadrangle. We used to go out there to have a smoke. The University of Manchester changed its name in 2004 with the merger of Victoria University of Manchester, where I studied in 1970, and the Institute of Science and Technology. Today, the university has around 39,000 students and about 10,000 staff, making it the largest university in the United Kingdom.
Manchester University is ranked 40th in the world and 5th in the United Kingdom. In economics, we have had some very fine professors. John Hicks, awarded the Nobel Prize in 1972, which I was assigned to entertain when he visited our Department of Economics in 1970, and my professor told me, Luis, you better keep him lubricated while he's here. And you can rest assured that I kept him very well lubricated. Another Nobel Prize, Sir Arthur Lewis, Nobel Prize in 1979, and Joseph E. Stiglitz, Nobel Prize in 2001, and Luis Gutierrez, 2020.
Es impresionante, pero cómo cambió mi vida el haber estado en esta ciudad y solamente un año de mi vida. Ahí está mi departamento de economía. Made good in Manchester.
Many memories come back just walking around. And of course, there are some buildings that have changed, and memories after 40 years tend to fade away. If I remember correctly, around here we had the dining room, and eating here, I promise you, was a suicide. You couldn't distinguish the meat from chicken or fish, and the veggies were boiled until total obliteration. Of course, food has improved a lot over the last decade or so. Remember the old joke, why did the English build an empire? Because they had to go out to eat. But still more. Este es el atrio central de la universidad, donde me saqué una fotografía cuando me gradué, y ahora me voy a sacar otra fotografía en conmemoración de aquella ocasión. And here we have the photographs before and after. In this photograph, we have William Gutierrez. He studied at Manchester Polytechnic. The Brazilian bum, which unfortunately passed away. Bethany, myself, and below, George. I don't remember his last name. He was from Greece. His English wasn't all that good, but he was superb in mathematics and econometrics. In fact, he was helping me to study econometrics. Next to him, another economics student, friend of ours, a Chinese from Thailand whose name I cannot remember. There is a very cute anecdote from George. One evening after studying, we went to our house to have dinner. And when he met Bethany, he said,
"Oh, you are Mary."
And Bethany, who was very jealous, got really upset.
"No, I am not Mary. My name is Bethany."
And George responded,
"Well, Luis is always calling you Mary."
and of course Bethany, being very jealous, immediately says to me,
"That's why you've been coming so late, and you're telling me that you are at the library or that you're exercising. You are with this girl, Mary."
So we start eating. There is an incredible deep silence. And I turn to George and say, "George, I think you made a mistake. I don't think I have ever talked about any Mary."
No.
George responds,
You're always calling him Mary.
so again the silence. We're eating our soup.
So that's her name, Mary.
And I respond, "Look, my dear." And George interrupts.
There you are. You just call her Mary.
Of course, we were laughing to our ears. We left the university and we went to Wilbraham Road, to Linton House, the place where we lived during our stay at Manchester.
Unfortunately, the people that manage the place are not here at the moment, so we're not able to go inside. It would have been great. But anyway, this is the back door. Over there is the garage where we used to park our Poucel Mini. Okay. It's raining as usual here in Manchester. I even wrote a song out of the place. Recordando. Now let me show you the front. Come this way, please. And here's the entrance to Linton House. At the time it was International House, and even we had Chileans, Costa Ricans, Colombians, and a whole bunch of Indians and Pakistanis. There were even some English people here, an Australian and a Frenchman, and a guy from Sri Lanka who beat me a chest because he was burping on my face the whole time.
When we first arrived, they gave us the flat on the ground floor. But being the floors so thin, we could hear everything from above. So eventually they changed us to the flat above, or the one all the way to the top. I can't remember. I believe that is the window of our apartment, where we lived from 1970 to 71. We were the founders. Here there is a photo of Bethany and I when we first arrived.
Y arriba teníamos a los chilenos que el tiempo se la pasaban peleando, o abajo, no recuerdo. Y aquí estamos, Wellington Road.
Linton House still looks in very good shape.
And Wilbraham.